Chicago-born rapper Lil Durk appeared before a federal judge in Florida this morning.
The court date finally came, and Lil Durk had to face the judge.
Chicago-bred rapper Lil Durk is now facing charges in connection to a murder-for-hire plot.
What happened in the courtroom left everyone shocked. In a surprising twist, reports suggest that Lil Durk might have implicated one of his most trusted associates in the attempted hit on Quando Rondo, a move that has raised eyebrows across the hip-hop world. Known for his image rooted in loyalty and street codes, Durk's alleged actions now put his reputation on the line. Can he bounce back in a music industry that values authenticity and adherence to those codes? Or is this a turning point that could impact his career forever? The Chicago rapper, who built his Only the Family team on principles of loyalty, now faces speculation of breaking those very principles. Prosecutors have identified Clondon Grant, aka Vonnie, as a key figure in the murder-for-hire plot that threatens Durk with a possible life sentence. It's rumored that Durk may have pointed the finger at Grant to save himself. Grant, allegedly a crucial member of OEF, is accused of orchestrating logistics such as arranging hotels, securing vehicles, and arming the crew with firearms, including a machine gun. This evidence places him at the center of the case, raising questions about how his name came to be at the forefront. The legal proceedings revealed a detailed narrative of the crew's alleged stalking of Quando Rondo and his cousin, Savoya Robinson, across Los Angeles. The operation culminated in a deadly ambush at a Beverly Center gas station, reportedly masterminded by Durk. With Grant and other members under scrutiny, whispers about Durk's possible cooperation with federal authorities grow louder. This speculation adds tension to an already complex situation, with many questioning if Durk betrayed his own team to lessen his punishment. Durk's plea of not guilty during his court appearance was accompanied by what some interpreted as a veiled apology. Was it directed at his fans, the industry, or his inner circle, OEF? The federal case against him is fortified by text messages, credit card transactions, and even lyrics from his music, which prosecutors argue glorify violence. A particular message, "Don't book flights under any names tied to me," has been highlighted as evidence of his intent to cover his tracks. Through it all, Durk's fiancée, India Royale, has stood by him. Spotted at a recent hearing, her presence sent a powerful message of loyalty. As the mother of Durk's child and a cornerstone of his public image, India's unwavering support is a reminder of the personal stakes involved. Fans noticed her composed appearance outside the courthouse, sparking discussions about her role, not just as a supporter, but potentially in aiding his defense. Meanwhile, two of Durk's co-defendants have waived their detention hearings, signaling that the case is progressing rapidly. As the legal battle intensifies, the question remains, will Durk's reputation survive this ordeal, or will the implications of these allegations permanently alter his legacy? Federal prosecutors are building their case against Lil Durk, but one thing stood out in the courtroom: his father's unwavering support. Amidst serious allegations that could cost Durk his freedom, his father's appearance brought a rare glimpse of humanity to a case filled with tension and drama. Durk's heartfelt acknowledgement of his father's support revealed the deep bond they share, showing another side of the Chicago rapper often known for his tough exterior and street loyalty. Durk's father, typically a quiet presence in the background, made a surprising appearance alongside the rapper's high-profile attorney, Alex Abetta, outside the Miami courthouse. His presence was more than just emotional support. It was a powerful statement about family loyalty, a theme Durk often highlights in his music. Durk described his father as the backbone of their family, someone who has experienced life on the streets but held firm to his principles. Having his father by his side during this critical moment seems to mean everything to Durk, who is now in the fight of his life. As Durk's defense team gears up for a high-stakes trial, this show of family unity may play a crucial role in how the case unfolds. Whether it influences the courtroom remains to be seen, but it sends a clear message about the values that shaped Durk. However, the prosecution is likely to dig into his past, possibly using his history to strengthen their case. Durk's past legal troubles could add to the weight of the current charges. In 2011, as a young artist trying to find his path, Durk was caught with a loaded nickel semi-automatic handgun that had its serial number defaced. Incidents like these could be used to paint a picture of a repeated pattern, potentially complicating his defense. As the legal battle intensifies, the stakes couldn't be higher for Durk. His father's support and the unity of his family are reminders of what's on the line, not just for him but for those who believe in him. Whether this will be enough to counter the federal charges remains uncertain, but all eyes are on the rapper as he faces what might be the toughest challenge of his career.
Facing charges after a man was shot outside the Varsity in February, the man survived. Banks turned himself into police yesterday.
That arrest marked the beginning of a series of legal troubles that reflected the challenges Lil Durk faced growing up on Chicago's South Side. Reports say police were chasing someone else when they spotted Durk, who fled the scene, ditching a gun under a car before slipping into a nearby house. When officers found him sitting casually on a couch, it seemed like nothing had happened, but the recovered weapon told a different story. Carrying a firearm with a defaced serial number is a serious offense, and facing trial, Durk struck a plea deal in 2012, admitting to 1 count of aggravated, unauthorized use of a weapon. He was sentenced to a year in prison. Despite trying to move forward, trouble followed Durk. In 2013, he was arrested again, this time in Englewood, Chicago. Responding to reports of a man with a gun, police arrived to find Durk standing near a car. He attempted to toss a loaded .40 caliber handgun into the vehicle, but it wasn't enough to evade arrest. As a convicted felon, this new charge of unlawful use of a weapon by a felon carried severe consequences. While battling these legal challenges, Durk was also working to build his music career, showcasing talent and ambition that could have elevated him as a voice for his community. However, these early arrests cast a long shadow, feeding into the narrative that fueled both his music and the struggles in his personal life. Durk's legal troubles seemed to snowball, and one fallout was a $350,000 lawsuit over a missed concert in 2019. He was scheduled to perform at Nassau Stadium in the Bahamas, but felony charges related to a shooting in Georgia disrupted those plans. The charges, which involved an alleged robbery where Durk was accused of firing a gun from a moving vehicle, led Bahamian immigration to deny him entry, canceling the show. Promoters claimed they'd done their due diligence before booking Durk, even paying his team a $24,000 advance and investing heavily in advertisements. When Durk couldn't perform, they alleged he kept the deposit and demanded an additional $200,000 to reschedule, prompting them to sue for breach of contract. Durk's attorney, Ariel Mitchell, dismissed the lawsuit as frivolous, arguing the promoters failed to secure the necessary visa for Durk. She also accused them of exploiting his recent legal exoneration in the 2019 shooting case for financial gain. While this legal drama unfolded, it added yet another layer to the rapper's struggle to balance his rising music career with the lingering shadows of his past. This wasn't the first time Durk's legal troubles clashed with his career ambitions. He once famously told a judge he would never see the inside of a courtroom again, a vow that life has repeatedly tested. In one instance, a Chicago gang task force investigating a homicide came to a home where Durk was present. Although he wasn't connected to the homicide, the situation added to the weight of the challenges he's faced, proving that no matter how far he's come in his career, his past remains a constant hurdle. According to reports, officers claimed they saw Durk in the kitchen with not one but 2 firearms in plain view, a Glock .45 with 11 live rounds, and a Springfield .45 loaded with 13 rounds. That sighting prompted them to act. When questioned about the weapons, Durk allegedly justified their presence by stating that his rivals were always trying to take his money. Whether or not he truly said that, the statement stuck, as did the charges. For someone with a prior felony conviction, simply being near firearms can lead to serious legal consequences. It was during this case that Durk famously made his courtroom vow, boldly declaring he would never stand before a judge again. "You can put a capital N for never," he proclaimed, as if shutting the door on that chapter of his life. But life, especially in Durk's world, rarely offers clean endings. At the time of this latest arrest, Durk was nearing the end of his parole for a previous conviction stemming from a 2011 arrest for aggravated, unlawful use of a weapon. That case had already added to his reputation as someone straddling the line between the streets and his music career. Despite his hits and accolades, the weight of his past continues to drag him back into legal trouble. The courtroom has become all too familiar for Durk, but this time the stakes feel higher. For someone who once declared he was done with courtrooms forever, this turn of events seems like a cruel irony. Whether he manages to walk away again or finally faces the consequences of his past remains uncertain. One thing is clear: the capital N he once promised now feels more like never say never. Durk's legal troubles are starting to catch up with him, and the repercussions are extending far beyond the courtroom. His career, built on rapping about the streets, is now colliding with real-life consequences. The fallout is intensifying. Even Durk's Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, the organization that helped solidify his role as a positive figure in his community, is distancing itself. Just weeks ago, Durk was celebrated with honorary keys to the city from Broadview and Bellwood, two villages near Chicago, in recognition of his charitable efforts. But all that goodwill vanished when his name was tied to allegations of orchestrating a hit on Quando Rondo. The backlash was swift. Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson wasted no time revoking Durk's honorary key to the city. It's a stark reminder of how quickly support can disappear when controversy arises, and it marks another blow to Durk's already embattled reputation.
So we thank you and we honor you and we appreciate you being in the village of Broadview, and here's your key.
In a strongly worded statement, Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson emphasized that the village holds its public partners to uncompromising standards of behavior. While acknowledging the principle of innocent until proven guilty, she noted that the court of public opinion operates differently in her community. Residents, she stated, expect better from those they view as role models. The decision to revoke Durk's honorary key came amid growing backlash. Even before his arrest, some had criticized the choice to honor him at all. Social media buzzed with comments suggesting the keys would have been better awarded to local heroes such as teachers, first responders, or community advocates, not a rapper with a controversial history linked to street life. Durk's arrest only intensified the scrutiny, forcing Broadview's leadership to create distance between the village, Durk, and his organization. The fallout didn't end there. Durk's Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, once a symbol of his commitment to giving back to the community, is now under fire. This nonprofit had funded scholarships, provided resources to underserved youth, and launched initiatives aimed at reducing gun violence. However, its association with Durk is now a lightning rod for criticism, threatening to overshadow the good it has accomplished. The irony is striking. Durk's work through the foundation was meant to showcase his transformation from a troubled past into a symbol of hope. But the allegations against him now paint a conflicting picture, one that's difficult to align with the image of a community leader. To make matters worse, reports suggest that someone from within Durk's inner circle may have betrayed him. Allegedly, an ODF member known as Jam flipped on him, working with federal agents and wearing a wire. According to court documents, ODF Jam, a longtime member of Durk's Only the Family crew, had been cooperating with federal authorities for years. His cooperation reportedly included wearing a wire and providing critical information to investigators. This betrayal is not just a casual one. It shakes the very foundation of ODF, a group built on street loyalty and brotherhood. Jam, who was released in 2022 after serving a 12-year sentence for attempted murder, allegedly delivered key intel that directly implicated Durk in orchestrating the murder-for-hire plot. This wasn't a case the Fed stumbled upon. They meticulously built it piece by piece, and Jam was reportedly one of their most significant sources. This revelation has left ODF and its fans reeling, as it not only threatens Durk's freedom but also calls into question the loyalty that has been a cornerstone of his crew and image.
But the symbolic gesture was met with backlash even before news of Lil Durk's latest arrest on murder-for-hire charges.
The betrayal from ODF Jam, someone so close to Durk, is a deep wound that will be hard to heal. The ripple effects of this, combined with the public severing of ties by Broadview's mayor and Durk's own foundation, show how isolated the rapper has become. Once supported by his community and the city, Durk is now facing mounting consequences, both professionally and personally. Losing the key to the city isn't just symbolic. It significantly damages his image, especially for someone who once positioned himself as a bridge between the streets and the community. The public is now questioning whether Durk's efforts to legitimize himself were ever enough to escape his past, or if it was always destined to catch up with him. The impact of this case could affect his brand partnerships, community initiatives, and even his fan support. The rapper's name, once associated with resilience and triumph, is now being dragged through the mud, and while his team might try to manage the situation, the damage to his reputation is undeniable. For someone who built his empire on loyalty and authenticity, this level of fallout is uncharted territory. The stakes are high, and whether Durk can navigate this storm or if he'll sink deeper into its consequences, the court of public opinion is as unforgiving as the courtroom itself. The timeline leading to Durk's arrest reads like a hip-hop saga turned courtroom drama. From street beefs to federal charges, these events don't just threaten his freedom. They have the potential to rewrite his entire career. His reputation, which was built on raw authenticity and street loyalty, is now on trial in both the legal system and public opinion. This series of events can be traced back to the tragic loss of King Von in 2020, a moment that ignited tensions with Quando Rondo's camp and set in motion a chain of events that prosecutors now claim led to a calculated revenge plot. In August 2022, the streets of Los Angeles saw the killing of Rondo's cousin, Eld P, which authorities claim was not a random act of violence, but a meticulously planned hit tied to Durk's crew, OEF. By October 2024, the feds had charged Durk and 5 OEF associates, including allegations of a murder-for-hire plot. This charge is one of the heaviest in the federal playbook, with the possibility of life behind bars. While Durk's team may argue his innocence, the evidence, financial records, explicit texts, and a paper trail linking him to the operation could be devastating in court. The timing could not be worse for Durk. Fans had been eagerly anticipating new music, collaborations, and tours, but the looming trial threatens to derail everything. Extended silence risks losing not just relevance, but also a significant part of his fan base, industry connections, and momentum. In an industry where consistency is key, a delay in releasing new music could be catastrophic. Durk's highly anticipated album Deep Thoughts, originally slated for release on October 18th, has been delayed, now with a tentative new date of November 22nd. For an artist like Durk, whose momentum has been steady for years, this delay isn't just an inconvenience, it's a big deal. Fans have been waiting for this album ever since teasers like the single Monitoring Me dropped, and tracks like Turn Up a Notch and Late Checkout were expected to keep his streak alive. With the uncertainty around the album's release, Durk risks losing the momentum he's worked so hard to build. The financial implications of the delay are just as significant. Album delays mean lost revenue from streaming, merchandise, and concert buzz, all of which are impacted when a project is pushed back. Beyond music, Durk's brand extends into his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation and other ventures, making the stakes even higher. Every missed release date chips away at the empire he's built, and each additional week of delay increases the risk of losing audience interest in a fast-moving industry like hip-hop.
Cause just like the evidence they had on Shorty and they had on Durk too, that you just paid to get your f***ing brother killed. How you not in jail?
Interview 5. The uncertainty surrounding Durk's delayed album and legal troubles could indeed make sponsors and collaborators hesitant. In the fast-paced world of hip-hop, where competition is fierce, uncertainty about an artist's schedule or legal stability can make potential partners think twice. Sponsors look for consistency, and without it, they may shift their focus to other artists who are more reliable or who don't have the same legal baggage weighing them down. In the same vein, other artists might capitalize on Durk's downfall, especially if they see an opportunity to take the spotlight while he faces challenges. FBG Butta, a fellow artist, had already predicted Durk's arrest almost a year before it happened. His foresight shows the deep rivalry and tension that exists in the hip-hop world. It's not uncommon for artists to take shots at one another, especially when one is going through a tough time. In this case, Butta's prediction of Durk's arrest could be seen as an attempt to capitalize on Durk's downfall, and it certainly adds to the drama surrounding the situation. As Durk's legal battles continue and the album release remains uncertain, It's clear that his competition, both in the streets and the industry, will not hesitate to take advantage of the situation. Whether it's through taunting or simply filling the void left by his absence, Durk's rivals are poised to benefit from his struggles. Interview 6. The potential impact of the delays and legal troubles on Lil Durk's fanbase is undeniably concerning. While his core supporters have stood by him through thick and thin, even the most loyal followers may begin to lose patience. The uncertainty surrounding his album release and the lack of clear communication could create a rift between Durk and his audience, particularly when they feel left in the dark about what's happening. Fans who have supported him through all his ups and downs may start to question whether he can maintain the momentum that has made him a star. The delay of Deep Thoughts, after the successful release of Almost Healed, threatens to derail the trajectory Durk had built for himself. His 2023 album was seen as a statement of resilience and growth, showcasing his ability to evolve while staying true to his roots. But now, with the looming legal battles and ongoing uncertainty around the album's release, there's a risk that Deep Thoughts could fade into the background instead of being the next big milestone in his career. That said, not all hope is lost. Delays, while frustrating, don't always spell the end of an artist's career if they're handled strategically. If Durk and his team use this extra time to refine the album's content or strengthen its promotional push, Deep Thoughts could still come out on top. However, the pressure is mounting, and the clock is ticking. The stakes are higher than ever, as Durk now needs to deliver an album that not only meets fan expectations, but also serves as a statement to re-establish his place at the top of the rap game. The financial consequences of these legal issues are staggering. From lost tour revenue to canceled sponsorships, Durk's brand stands to take a hit on multiple fronts. His reputation has already been damaged by the serious charges against him, and with the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation distancing itself, the negative effects on his public image are growing. For someone who rose to prominence with a blend of musical talent and street credibility, Durk now finds himself at the mercy of both the courtroom and the court of public opinion. The stakes for his trial are immense. If convicted, the consequences could be catastrophic, potentially resulting in life behind bars. Even if he beats the charges, the damage to his reputation could be irreparable, and it's unclear how he could recover from such a blow. Despite this, there are still fans who believe in his innocence or redemption, and they could rally behind him in the face of adversity. This is undoubtedly a pivotal moment in Lil Durk's career. The journey from Chicago's Englewood neighborhood to global stardom has been marked by both triumphs and tribulations, but this next chapter may be the hardest test of all. Durk's legacy, freedom, and future are on the line, and how he navigates these challenges will determine whether he can overcome the storm and continue his rise, or if his past will finally catch up with him.